Well, good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening, traders from across the globe. Welcome to my 2607th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni. Good evening, traders. This video coming at you on a Wednesday night. Well, excuse me. Coming at you on a Tuesday night for Trading Wednesday, July 19th. 2023. Before we get started, please know this is a very, very risky game. Never, ever trade without stops. Put your stops in first before you enter into any positions, and know that no matter what anyone tells you, no matter what market you get into, without a stop, your risk is really, really strong. Put your stops in. Make sure you survive to fight another day. All right, so Russell 2000 traders, the daily bar chart. Each one of these lines or days represents a full day of trading. Ever since it held the 100 ball moving average, perfect hold, and you have seen this since the day it held. I was jumping and bragging about it. Look at the channel that has developed. Look at the run that's taken place. We got above the top of this really huge pennant. You see the bottom down here, top up here, huge pennant. We got through that. Now taking off, a bit of an F flag, if you will, happened right here. And a breakout, and it looks like it wants to go higher. And the OMNI, of course, is green. Let's fix that. The OMNI is green for trading U.S. indices. So OMNI wants to buy. We will buy dips in either Russell or, let's go look at some other markets. Look at the E-mini S&P. Now, of course, you've seen this chart in many videos. This E-mini S&P, I've shown you this time and time again. The simplest way to define a bull market is, let me just get rid of this average. It does not need to be here. The simplest way to define a bull market as if you have a low that rallies to a high, and then it drops to a higher low, and then a higher high. You're making a series of higher lows and higher highs. Drops to an even higher low than the one before it, right? So this low is higher. Well, sorry, let's get this guy out of there. This low is higher than this low. This high here, when you go to that high, it's higher than that high. Then this low is higher than that low, right? So we're making a series of higher lows and higher highs. It explodes to a higher high, drops to an even higher low than the last one. Goes up to a higher high, even though it doesn't look it, that is higher than this one. Drops to a higher low than that one. Races to a higher high. Let's grab this. Races to a higher high. And it looks like it wants to continue. So higher highs and higher lows basically tell you you're in a bull market. That started with this big inverted green. Inverted head and shoulders, meaning the market should become bullish. So we will buy dips for the green OMNI and E-mini S&P for trading on Wednesday. If you're still bearish, if you're still a fund manager who has got his traders stuck either short, not in the market, or in bonds, you really need to pay attention to what's going on. I have been helping you and pushing you fund managers along since the beginning of the year. But a problem with some fund managers, and you almost can't blame them. Fund managers make money two ways. One way is they get their incentive fee. Now, if you've got $100 million, a few $100 million under management, you're getting a 1 to 2% incentive fee every year, whether you win or lose. And I think what happens is once they get a few of those years where they make a lot of money and buy the nice house and drive the nice car, they start thinking that this is because of them. They're rich because of their brain, and that they've come up with all these good scenarios, but in reality they're rich because they're getting their percentage, right? So what happens is they start to think they were born for this, and they take a guy like me who calls the markets 15 years in a row, the year-end call correctly. They'll look at a guy like me and go, this guy don't know what he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I'm Mr. Fund Manager because I make lots of money, and they forget that they made that money whether or not they won. And I think that gets in their heads, and they start blowing off guys like me who point out the direction. And they come up with a scenario. I say the market's going down. I've made lots of money in my life. That's why I'm right. While I stand here and just point out night after night that you are on the wrong side and this market's going up, and half of them still don't even want to hear it yet. Could you imagine they're still bearish? All right, well, look at the market running away. This is fund managers that are starting to cover shorts or get into the market. Whether they tell you they're still bearish or not, I promise you they're not. They see what's going on. So I've been egging along, trying to be as helpful as I can to fund managers all year. I think they're finally catching on. And you know what? Good. They got another half a year, another 7 to 15% coming their way. You know, could be as much as 15. So I think if they get in now, change their bearish outlook, they'll be fine for the rest of the year. Nothing goes straight up, but if fund managers flip to getting their funds long, I think they'll be just fine. I hope some of them are listening out there. I hope this is going to help them. Anyway, let's move along. Sorry about that. I got a little long-winded on that. Let's look at Mr. Nasdaq. The Nasdaq chart, which you've seen in many, many videos lately, same chart. Remember all that support? You can even drop a 22 bar moving average on this, and it comes in right there in that circle, and it gets above the pennant that was building. It gets above this major support and starts to run, gets into a channel, and now it is starting to go, and Nasdaq is playing catch up to the other markets. It's been lagging. So Nasdaq's got some room on the upside for sure, and the OMNI's bullish for trading on Wednesday. And then there is this guy. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't type that correctly. Here we go. This is this guy. Check out the YM. This was our trade today. In fact, we had 2 trades today. So, want to talk about risk? 42 and a half, almost 43 years deep in this business I am. Here was my trades I gave out to the OmniX today. One of them was this. We are buying the mini Dow. This is on Tuesday. We're buying the mini Dow at 34,680. The market drops to 34,690 right there. Doesn't fill us and takes off. No fill, we didn't get in. We were right there. Omni called the direction. Omni called where to buy it, and we missed it by ticks, and it took off without us. At the same time, we shorted gold and got stopped out. So today, with all this great information, today being Tuesday, with my 43 years, I got stopped out on the wrong side of gold and missed my chance to buy the mini Dow at the low. Anything can happen, kids. Put your stops in. But I am not going to miss it tonight. I promise I'm going to catch a ride on something tonight. Mini Dow looks fantastic. Broken above this major resistance line. Let me do this for you. Major resistance line. Right? When it gets to it, it can't get above, can't get above, can't get above. Look at now. And it's inside this channel. And Omni's bullish for Wednesday, so we like the mini Dow. Look at this guy, the guy who's been leading us around lately. This is your transportation average, Dow Jones Transportation Average. Yesterday, this said resistance. Today, it says resistance bested. I added the word bested in up here. Because look, today, we gapped open higher and took off, got right back in the channel. And if you ask me, that's what's important. Look, right back in the channel. One day out of the channel, right back in on the low of the day. Right, boom. And look where it's settled. In the channel, looks fantastic. It is still leading, and it's bested its resistance. You got to love the transportation average. And Omni's bullish again tomorrow on that. And one more chart I'd like to show you. I think you guys might appreciate this. This is Mr. Meta. And let's do it a different way. Let me give it to you this way. Nice daily chart. All right, so check out Meta. This is Facebook. Facebook traders, if you want to go back and look at videos, if you want to ask the traders in my live trading room, if you want to hang out with me, or if you do hang out with me, you'd recognize that way back in November, I said, look, I put this V-bottom looking thing in here. I put the circle around it, and I said Meta is finding its legs. Then I changed it to Meta has found its legs by the time we got up to about here. And look what's happened since. It has just exploded. Now, I take it there's a lot of people on the internet now that understand Meta's moving. We were bullish Meta when it started and did videos about it. All right, Meta's a huge part of the stock market. Another reason why I was calling bottom down here in the stock market, because the big components of the stock market were all bottoming as well. All right, turns out that it absolutely was bottom in February when we started calling the bottom of the stock market. And Meta's a big piece of it. Meta looks like it wants to break out. Look at this wonderful channel it's in right now. Looks to me like it wants to break out higher and make new highs. We've got a target in Meta, Facebook, Near term, by the way, 320 to 321. Now, Meta's not the biggest mover in the world, right? It's average days, if you want to take a look. Let's say an average day on Meta. 2 days ago, the high was 311.70, the low was 304. On Tuesday, it was 314 to 307, so you're not getting major movement, so we can't get this in one day, but we're heading up to this area, 320 to 321 in Meta, and I thought I would share that with you. All right, traders, thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share these videos if you don't mind. And remember to keep your emotions out of trading. How do we do that? One of the best ways you can do that is to say this to yourselves over and over again whenever you're in a position. Make sure you say this to yourselves. It will help. Are you with me? Say it with me, kids. 1, 2, 3. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Good luck trading, kids. I hope this helps. I will see you all in my live trading room at livewithoscar.com.